Hello everyone. Let us discuss the role of state in economic development. Okay, what is the role of government or public authorities, local, state, central governments in economic development? So today the state has emerged an active participant. Okay, in according to classical view, there is a laissez-faire state uh, in those doctrine of laissez-faire is dead now because of today the government or public authorities or state has emerged an active participant in the process of economic development, in the process of growth of the country. So because of the government activities, economic activities, non-economic activities has increased day by day, year by year. So through the activities has to be done with the monetary and fiscal policies. It also determines the distribution of goods and services in the economy. Okay, monetary policy, fiscal policy is plays a very important role in the productivity activities and the distribution of goods and services in the economy. So that's why the state has taken the policies of monetary and fiscal policies in the development process. So the sphere of state action is very vast. Okay, that is a sphere of government is very vast and are expanding. So what is a sphere of a state? It includes maintaining public services, influencing the use of resources, influencing the distribution of income, controlling the quantity of money, controlling fluctuations, ensuring full employment, and influencing the level of investment. Okay, these are all are the says that what is the sphere of a state, what is the scope of a state in the economic development. Okay, first of all, the government is maintaining the public services. Okay, that is the IAS, IPS, other protecting the country and civil administration. And next thing is the use of resources very efficient manner because of we have the economy compulsory have the very scarce resources. So that's why the scarce resource have the alternative uses. That's why the whatever the scarce resources have there in the country, in the world, those resources we are used with efficient manner. That's why we will go to in development. And in distribution of income, it is a very important of the state duty. So that is a distribution of income through the taxation and the debt management. Okay, these are all are the have to distribution of income to the from rich people to the poor people. And it shows the uh, to achieve the objective with the distribution of income, removal of income inequalities, removal of regional inequalities, imbalances. Next, controlling the quantity of money. Okay, money, when we take the monetary policy, we have the Reserve Bank of India. So in the Reserve Bank of India, depression, when the situation has occurred in the country, depression or inflation. So these are all our uncertain situations are maintained with the controlling of the money, controlling the quantity of the money with the CRR, repo rates, SLR. So these are all are the rates have to be increased and decreased with the conditions of the depression and inflation periods. The controlling fluctuations, we are the economy sometimes have in boom condition, ban condition, progressive condition and regressive condition. So these are fluctuations when we occurred in the country. So compulsory we have to the government to control the fluctuations with the monetary policy. Definitely the state objective to maintain the to achieve the full employment level, to controlling the prices, and with this we can see the economic stability. So next level of employ investment is a very important public investment on education, health and irrigation, agricultural industry sector. So the whatever the investment is increased by the government or private sectors, definitely we will go to see the in economic development. The state has a shoulder so many responsibilities have the state, or rather than the private. We cannot have the private sector cannot have these are responsibility primary responsibilities. What the responsibility should be done by the government, and spending money on the so many activities, economic activities, non-economic activities, to to ensure the development. This task can be performed by the two types of measures, direct and indirect. The role of state in economic development has to be seen in the direct measures and indirect measures. When we take the direct measures, number one, organizational changes. The organizational changes play an important role in the process of economic development. Because of the we can see the labor market, the structural labor market, the size of market and organization of labor market. The state can help develop the means of transport and communication for expanding the size of market. Okay, when we can see the size of market or expanding of the market only with the facility of the communication and the transport. Okay, without communication, without transport, we cannot develop the market in the economy. Social and economic infrastructure is a very important. This concept is a play important role in the economic development. Okay, without economic overheads, we cannot see the development in the country. Social overheads, uh, such like education, health, housing, hygiene. These are all the social overheads. Economic overheads, insurance, finance, communication, transportation, and electricity, mineral resources, irrigation. These are all comes under the economic overheads or economic infrastructure. These facilities compulsory provided by the government only, not the private enterprises. Okay, so this is the one of the direct measure by the government. Okay, education is a very intrinsic value to for development of the human capital, and development of the human skills in the country, in the world. Okay, according to Mirdal, Gunnar Mirdal, to state national development program. Okay, compulsory the education facilities provided by the government. With this education facilities, the people can ensure their skills, and with that skills, who who are the who are the literated person, who are the educated person, compulsory they have the geographical and occupational mobility, and raising their productivity and facilitating innovations. Okay, if we have educated, we have to work with the innovation. Okay, quality of labor is a very important for economic growth. Okay, the quality of labor comes from the education only. When the people, some have the literate, some have the aware of these things in the world, in the country, compulsory they have get the knowledge. They can compulsory have the quality of they have the quality of labor we can see in the country. For economic growth is a very important, the quality of labor comes from the education only. So public health and family planning is a very important. This is the one of the social overhead, health education. The public health services are important function to be performed by the government only. So it is a necessary. If the people have the healthy conditions, compulsory they can get they have the wealth of the nation. Okay, without health of the conditions of the people, it is a inefficiency to maintain the economic growth. So compulsory the government provided the facilities of the public health facilities to improve their health conditions in the country, and with that the increase to efficiency and productivity of the labor also. So Mayer and Baldwin observed that public health measures affect economic development in both ways. Okay, economic development compulsory it should be with the measure of public health. Next thing is direct measures is changes in institutional framework. Okay, the people of a country must desire progress and their social, economic, legal and political institutions must be favorable to it. But in underdeveloped countries, these conditions are largely absent and there is a great need of social and culture revolution. Okay, we if we have to see the social and culture revolution, okay, with that only maintained by the institutional framework with social, economic, and legal and political institutions. The UNO, United Nations of Organization, has rightly observed that the people of a country must desire progress, and their social, economic, legal, and political institutions must be favorable to it. Stepping up rate of investment. The public investment is a very important accelerating by increasing the rate of investment and savings by the government for the development process. Okay, the essential for government to accelerate the rate of capital formation in these countries, and the government can achieve this through taxation or inflation. So the capital formation country compulsory achieved with the taxation and inflation. The socialistic economics have also been able to save and invest a very high percentage of their national income because of their government's active role in the field of capital formation. So the in Indian economy has the mixed economy. Okay, we have in world we have the socialistic economy countries, we have the capitalistic economy countries, but Indian country have the mixed economy. The private and public sector is uh, running is investment is savings with combined and work for the growth of the country and development of the country. So that is the public investment is the rate of public investment is going to the increased, that it shows the development of the country. So agriculture development it is the uh, remains backward. Other sectors economy cannot develop because agriculture is the basic industry. And okay, what is the means in the slide? Agriculture develop, if the agriculture is developing, it, definitely it leads to development to the other sectors also, that is industry and service sector. Agriculture sector has provided the raw materials to the industries, service sectors, and with this raw material for the development of the agriculture development, definitely we can see the industry and service sectors. Okay, because of the depends other sectors depends on the agriculture sector. The success of the agriculture development programs depend upon land reforms measures taken by the government. The government has taken the measures of the land reforms for the development of the agriculture. Industrial development it is a one of the development in the economy. And after the economic reforms, before the economic reforms, the government has implemented the industrial policies for the development of the industries. So influencing the use of resources. The government is required to play the role of influencing the use of scarce resources. The first side I have already revealed that the scarcity of the resources, with this scarcity we have the alternative uses. So that's why we can use the government or private sector can use the maximum utilize the resources of the scarce resource. Removal inequalities. The Gunnar Mirdal has rightly remarked the usual argument. The economic inequality by resulting in enriching the upper class being able to save more of their income has even less relevance is most underdeveloping countries where landed other rich people are known to squander their income and conspicuous consumption investments and sometimes in capital flight. The government is objective to remove the inequalities, remove whatever income or regional inequalities with the taxation, and that in country we have the progressive taxation system. The who have the get the income and who have the wealth in the country, the income from the rich people to the poor people is transformed for the removal of the income and regional inequalities. So the government has also allocated the money to the poor people for their welfare, and also allocated to the money to the poor backward states in the country. So with that, the government objective to achieved removal of inequalities, maintain the economic imbalance. Optimum allocation of resources. Underdeveloped country has a problem of optimum utilization of economic resources. Okay, in underdeveloped countries, developing countries has a very drawback to optimum allocation of the resources. Okay, conduct they say so many surveys says the natural resources and their proper exploitation is not possible without active participation of state. So active participation of state is very important to optimum allocation of the resources. Without active participation, without efficient management of the resources, we cannot see the optimum allocation of the resources, we cannot achieve the development. So that's why the state has a main role to allocate the resources, and the optimum allocation of the resources with efficient manner. Definitely we can get the see the state role in the economic development. So the government role is maintenance of peace and security in the country, internally and externally maintain the law and order in the country, and balanced growth means promoting the balanced growth of the economy and self reliance. And the self-reliance means the government is not depending on the imported from other countries. The government has produced this with internally, and with the use of internal resources, and not depending on the imports of other countries. Okay, it is called the self-reliance. Okay, with the self-reliance maintained by the government, definitely we will see the development of the country. So this is the main role of the government, to maintain the self-reliance, self dependent. Okay, not the dependent on others. So previous slides we discussed the direct measures by the government, and it shows that the state of the government, uh, role of the government in economic development with the direct measures. What are the indirect measures by the government? What are the direct measures performed by the government? First one is the monetary policy. The proper monetary policy helps economic and industrial development by the increasing the volume of scarce resources, raising the productivity of factor of production, improving the economic and social conditions, and removing the various bottlenecks in the process of economic development. So that's why the countries must be controlled. The money supply by the government is necessary, as they had ensured the full employment. When we have the depression period, okay, in the depression period, compulsory we have to the government is spending more money on the different sectors to reduce the unemployment, to increase the production. Okay, with that, the government takes the loans. So the government is borrowing from internal and external sources. So this called the monetary policy, and the Reserve Bank of India has take the measure too in the depression period, and SLR, CRR, and repo rates is also uh, to be changing, we accorded to the situations, whether depression and inflations. So fiscal policy measures the government revenue, expenditure patterns, debt patterns. Okay, and uh, increase some come to be regarded as a desirable instrument of the government policy in underdeveloped countries. Taxes can be used for the increasing savings by the restricting consumption and directing investment in promoting channels and preventing it from going into undesired lands. Okay, fiscal policy is a very important role. After that, monetary policy, with monetary and fiscal policy interdependence to promote the economic development in the world. So that's why fiscal policy, in the fiscal policy have the objective to economic stability and maintain the full employment, and to maintain the optimum allocation of the resources. That's why in the fiscal policy the government is imposed tax on the on different sectors on income with the progressive taxation. So, and debt management and expenditure patterns, these are all are shows in the fiscal policy. And the price policy, in initial stage of economic development, prices increase due to increased investment in the economy due to policy to deficit finance followed by the government. The price policy, lower developed countries, underdeveloped countries, or developing countries to regularize the and control the prices, and the country not have the depletion, not have the inflation. The prices is also balanced. So with that, the government is control the prices for revive the economy. Increasing foreign trade in terms of volume and quantity is small. The government can promote exports, facilitate the import of goods necessary for promoting and accelerating economic growth, and restrict the import of luxury goods. Okay, this is foreign trade. The government can promote exports. Whatever we have the surplus of production in our country, that goods compulsory exported to the other countries where they have need in that countries. And import of goods, okay, we have also imported the some goods, uh, imported the goods with we have the scarcity of that goods, compulsory we have to import the goods from other countries, and accelerating the economic growth, and restricted the import of luxury goods. Okay, we have to we the government have to restrict it to import the luxurious goods. Okay, this is the foreign trade reforms also we have there. So in that foreign reforms we have to control how to control the imports, and how we are exported to other countries of our goods to others. Strengthening of the public sector, economic development that have encourage public sector for due social welfare of the common masses. Okay, now we have to see in our the government uh, implemented the so many pension schemes for the welfare of the people. Okay, it will be strengthen the public sector also. Okay, next, economic planning. So economic today the choice is not between planning and non-planning, but between different degrees of planning. Therefore, the government watches that economic resources are used for socially described beneficial projects. Okay, so economic in the economic planning, whatever we have, the government have planned to construct projects for the development of the economy, for the improving of the conditions of uh, production. So that's why the economic the scarcity resources used to the necessary activities, necessary in economic activities, necessary economic projects, and that is beneficial projects also we can say. So that will be lead to the social and economic development. So public debt, when the government lacks internal resources. Okay, if the example, if the government have not revenue, okay, sufficient revenue have not there in the government, so definitely the government has um, borrow the money from internal financial institutions, internal banks, and also the external resources, like foreign banks, and foreign government has provided financial assistance to the countries. Okay, these are all are the debt resources, internal and external resources, to accelerate the pace of economic development of the country. So what are the limitations? It is clear that the government plays an important role in promoting development in lower developed, less developed countries. It has certain limitations. The planning, initiation, and direction of economic development is not sufficient. The government machinery is generally corrupt and inefficient. The excessive state interference is economic life. The more and more responsibility by the state adds to burden and cost of administration. So, the properly trained and experienced person to run the administration is a very important. Efficient management is a very important to the development of any country in the world. So, it is less developed countries or underdeveloped countries, developing countries compulsory have the limitations. So, these are not efficient management, economic development, and some the government administration is corrupt and inefficient, and inefficient management. With these demerits, we cannot see the development. Okay, this is the role of state in economic development, and that is the direct measures, and the next one is the indirect measures. With the two measures, in with these two measures, we can the government can get the and can accelerate the pace of the economic development in the world. Thank you.